And here we go. All right, what's going on, guys? Lee Sanders here. You're checking out an all-new The RCWR show coming at you for Sunday night of February the 17th, 2019. We are talking WWE Elimination Chamber 2019, a couple of minutes removed at the time that we're live right now. It is just a couple of minutes before 10:30 p.m. on the East Coast. Off the break, can I just give a mad shout out to the WWE? WWE, thank you. Thank you on behalf of us podcasters. Thank you on behalf of those that got to go to school or got to go to work. Well, actually, let me backtrack. School, nah, because Monday's President's Day. But for those that got to work, WWE, thank you so much for ending your pay-per-view at a decent hour. Because Lord knows, the past couple of months, y'all been killing us. You've been killing us, seriously, with these pay-per-views going on and on and on and on. And it's been just freaking ridiculous. And remember, we probably were one of a handful of shows. Not that many were being as vocal as we were over here. But I was the main catalyst saying, WWE, you can't keep doing this because you got people that got to go to work, they got to go to school. People gotta do that long commute. You don't know how long people have been driving. You don't know if people were taking public transportation to go to your events, all that jazz. So I really like the fact that, okay, well, let's start it early and we'll get out of here as early as possible. So I'm glad that things went down the way it went tonight. But you know what? We got one more pay-per-view that's going to be coming up before WrestleMania, and that's Fastlane. Fastlane is going to be hitting on Sunday, March 10th. So you hope that maybe WWE is going to do the same thing, but news has already been revealed that with regards to WrestleMania, they're going to be tacking on, get this, another hour to the bad boy. Yeah, another hour to WrestleMania. Pretty soon, it's just going to be going 24/7. It never ends, right? But yeah, it's crazy. But I do want to get that big props out the way to the WWE because honestly, I was expecting for this bad boy to be over with probably 11:30, honestly. 11:30, that's what I was expecting. So, hey, the fact that we got in and out a lot sooner than anticipated, I'll take it. Hey, we got a poll that's up asking you guys, what did you think about tonight's WWE Elimination Chamber pay-per-view event? Sound off, let me know, get at me. I got the YouTube poll. That's on our YouTube page, youtube.com/The RCWR Show. Click on the communities tab and make sure you click that bad boy. You'll see your options. Keeping it simple tonight. Staying in the middle. Thumbs up, thumbs down. We also got that same poll available on Twitter. And right now, looking at the early votes that's coming in, I'm not really tripping too much on YouTube. I'll come back to that a little later because we literally just posted that before we went live. But right now on Twitter, and let me do a refresh because last I saw, we almost had 70 votes. Right now, yeah, we're still about the same. But right now, we've got 22% giving it a thumbs down. We've got 26% staying in the middle. And right now, we've got 52% that's giving the pay-per-view overall a thumbs up. You can also interact via the RCWR Show app available in the Android store for free. We also got our chat that's banging right now on Discord. Appreciate those of you that's in the Discord. And you know, if you are a paying Patreon member, you automatically get the Discord hookup. You just gotta update your payment. You don't have to be worried about being charged twice. Just refresh your payment and you'll see the option to do the Discord. It's an automatic invitation. Get you nice and set up. But if you are signing up for Patreon for the first time, you ain't got to worry about all that. It's automatic. You'll get that option to join into our Discord chat where I've been having a lot of fun kicking back with my boys over here. Shout out to Fred. Shout out to Lee Strack. Who else we got in there? Shout out to, looks like Gunny. Look like Gunny's up in there. I know Gino and everybody else going to be coming a little bit later on. But yeah, we've been having a lot of fun over in the Discord chat. If you ain't hooked up with the Discord yet, I can hook you up. Get at me on Twitter and on Facebook. Use the keywords, the RCWR show. Let me know how long you've been a follower, listener of the show, and I'll try to see if I can hook you up that way. Because right now, I'm really just trying to look out for the long-time listeners and the Patreon members, but I can make a few exceptions. Hey, can we talk about that main event match for the night, which was for the WWE Championship, right? Man, I gotta give it up to my man Kofi Kingston, as if the hour-long performance that he did on SmackDown wasn't enough, and it had so many of us talking and just reminded of how great Kofi Kingston can be if he's given the opportunity to shine at his brightest on the most important stage of them all, to really tell the story. I thought what he did on SmackDown was just... And the way I saw everything play out in my mind, I know everybody else was going when they were offering predictions, Daniel Bryan. But for me, I looked at it so much more deeper than just Daniel Bryan's going to get the W. The fact that when you play it back in your mind and it all connects, right? It all makes sense when you connect the dots. The fact that we saw Kofi Kingston pin Daniel Bryan on SmackDown, and just the continued outstanding performance that Kofi had going into the pay-per-view, going into that SmackDown Gauntlet match, right? Basically setting up what we saw tonight. I just quietly, I didn't say anything because I thought maybe somebody else would say it online, and I was hoping somebody else would say it, but nobody said it online. But what I thought at the time was, all right, Daniel Bryan gonna get that back. Don't even worry about that. Okay, we get it. This is going to make Kofi look, okay, I see the story that they're trying to tell. We want him to look like a strong contender. Maybe he has Daniel Bryan's number. Okay, if we're going to go with that narrative, yeah, this looks really damn good. I'll bite that. And once again, fast forward all these days later, and we go to the Elimination Chamber, and that match for the WWE Championship, all the guys in there, they represented. They fucking went in there and they did all of their respective parts of making Kofi Kingston look like $1,000,000. And I got to give it up to all of them. And it just really makes you take a step back when you see that. I mean, first of all, it's a no-brainer that Daniel Bryan was going to come out of this on top. And you saw the crowd reactions for Kofi Kingston. Trust me, man, WWE, they got a formula. And when it comes this close to WrestleMania season, that's a formula that they really do not want to be messing around with unless there is maybe a significant injury, there is an illness, and as a result of that, they got to derail from their original plans. And so when nothing of those scenarios come into fruition, all right, well then you got to stick to the script, right? You got to stick to whatever it is you riding with until WrestleMania. And I really wish within my heart that this could have been a scenario where Kofi Kingston has been having this newfound wave of momentum for a couple of months. Because if he would have had this for a couple of months, then maybe this would have been a scenario where maybe tonight, Kofi maybe would have become a WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Anything is possible. I'm not going to put it past the WWE. And you know, for the past couple of years now, WWE has been under that microscope, and it is always something. I'm sure you guys that have gone in the forums, whether it's Reddit or you go to your favorite wrestling website and you look at the community section there, somebody, if not every single week, even on YouTube, you name it, there's always that one person, and I'm not knocking them, I'm not, but there's always that one person that goes, man, it sure would be nice to have a black champion again. And then when the question is brought up about, well, what about Dwayne The Rock Johnson? Nah, he don't count, man. He's only part black. Nah, man, we need somebody like Booker T black. Well, what's up with that? What's up with the 100% black? And it always, weekly, it's always something that comes up. And you know what? Never mind the fact that, well, look at what we got with Asuka Look at what we had going on with Bianca Belair. Look at what you got going on with Amber Moon, right? Look at what you got going on with Nia Jax. Hey, to a degree, Alicia Fox, right? None of that matters. You look at the New Day. They've been multi-time tag team champions and all that. Some of them guys in New Day, they've pretty much touched every single title except for the freaking World Heavyweight title to a degree, right? But nah, for some, that's never enough. It's nah. When are we going to see a black person become a World Heavyweight champion? And with what Kofi Kingston did twice in 1 week, in the same week of this week, is definitely going to fuel that debate even more on, if not Kofi Kingston in the WWE, I'm sure people are going to be looking at Xavier Woods. A lot of people are going to be looking at Big E, right? I'm sure the discussion, more fuel has been added to the fire when it's all said and done. And honestly, sometimes I like kicking back and seeing what people have to say. It's one of those scenarios where after tonight, I'm very curious what everybody is going to be saying this go round. And so for me, looking at the conclusion of this matchup, I honestly would love to see, I don't know about you all, but me personally, I would love to see Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan lock it up one more time. And since we got that Fastlane pay-per-view that's going to be going down, nothing would please me more than to see Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan face each other in a one-on-one matchup. I would love to see that just one more time. And the way I'm thinking about it, right? The way I would kind of like approach this. Look, you all remember the Fastlane that had came about some years back when Triple H was the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Y'all remember that? And at that Fastlane pay-per-view, he had took on Dean Ambrose for the title. And I remember vividly, there were so many of my colleagues and everybody else was going, man, this is a really good spot that Dean Ambrose is in. Is it even possible that a monkey wrench could go down right before WrestleMania? Is it possible that maybe Dean Ambrose could get this title, right? And just the curiosity, you went and you checked out Fastlane and you were like, okay, well, anything can happen. Let's see what's going to go down here. Of course, if you really kind of stopped and just thought about the story arcs, everything leading up to that respective WrestleMania, it seemed highly unlikely that Triple H was going to lose that title at Fastlane. But still, just the fact that you had Dean Ambrose working with Triple H, I mean, for me, that just kind of catapulted him even a little bit further into the main event status, because he was just on such a roll right there. And as I've said many times on this show, everything was going good till he did that Stone Cold podcast. But that's a different topic for another time. But me personally, I would love to see Kofi Kingston, Daniel Bryan lock it up one more time, let it go down at Fastlane. And honestly, after that, look, do I want to see the New Day break up? Hell no. Hell no. Them guys are some serious top merchandise pushers. The last thing I'm trying to do is see those guys break up. I'm not interested in that, okay? I think they can continue to function as a stable while still going out there and winning whatever titles left and right, be it an Intercontinental, tag titles, whatever. I think they can still coexist. It would be nothing more different than when Ric Flair was with the Horsemen or DX was running around together. Everybody was still able to come together and represent the faction. So, no, all the good money making opportunities that New Day's able to continue to put in there, I do not want to see them break up. But after this is all said and done with, what I personally like to see members of the New Day strive for singles success, yes. And the fact that fans are embracing a Kofi Kingston singles run, I'm curious what could happen with the Big E. Now, if we're keeping it real, then one of the questions you gotta certainly ask yourself is, well, man, it's safe to say Kofi might do okay, Big E might do okay, but what about Xavier Woods? Would he really be okay? makes you wonder, man. Really makes you wonder. Hey, for those of you that's checking out the live web stream, I think you guys might be experiencing a little bit of lag that's going on right now. There's really nothing I can do about the lag. We've been having some service issues with Verizon Fios. I know a couple of days ago, the system was down in the area, and they were talking about coming out, fixing it. They did fix it, but it seems like ever since then, I've been noticing a little bit of lag that's been going on, and this is the first stream in a long time that we're doing for you guys where I'm noticing straight up that there is bad lag that's going on. So if you guys are experiencing any type of lag, best advice I can give you is come on over and check out the stream via the RCWR Show app that's available for free, Android store. And you can also check us out via Discord. We're doing nice and good over on Discord. I don't see my guys in Discord complaining whatsoever. I've also got this episode for the web stream. I've also got it recording. So after this stream is over and done with, I'll try to see how bad the lagging is that you all are experiencing. And push come to shove, we'll just go ahead and re-upload what's being recorded right now in its place. But I do apologize if you guys are experiencing any lag. I'm trying to figure out if there's maybe something I could do on the side here, but I don't really think I can. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But trust me, I'm definitely going to be getting in contact with Files tomorrow and find out what the hell is going on, because we did a fresh install. My God, I remember when we first did the new RCWR show with the Files hookup and all that. Yeah, I got even Freddie telling me. Freddie's saying Discord, Spreaker, they're perfect. He's saying the YouTube stream, there's freeze and delay. Test the app, but don't own the device. Okay, yeah, so you guys on YouTube, really sorry right now for you guys. That really sucks. You know what? Let me see something real quick here. Let me see something real quick. If I can do something here. Hang on, guys. Hang on. Let me see. I might be able to do something. Let me just look here. I wish there was an automatic button. Do I got too many windows open? Let me try this. Hang on. Let me close that. Let me close that. And let me close that. And maybe that might do the trick. All right, I closed a couple of windows, so we'll see if maybe that might help out just a little bit. But for now, I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna keep on going with the show, man. All right, so yeah, but that was a really solid main event match for the WWE Championship. I wasn't disappointed that Kofi Kingston lost. I mean, honestly, it went down exactly the way I thought it was going to go down. Just following up on what had went down on Tuesday SmackDown. It played out exactly the way that I thought it was going to play out. So Daniel Bryan coming out of that as the new, or still retaining his WWE Championship. There ain't no surprise right there. Let's talk about the pre-show. Pre-show, that one was actually pretty decent. We had, who was it? Beth Phoenix, WWE Hall of Famer Beth Phoenix. We had Sam Roberts. We had Booker T. And we had Jonathan Coachman. Pretty decent. We had our one and only pre-show matchup, which was Buddy Murphy going over Akira Tozawa to retain his Cruiserweight Championship. Man, good matchup. That was a damn good pre-show matchup. Some of these pre-show matchups, when I get to see them and just the way that everything flows so beautifully, sometimes I just want to see some of these pre-show matches make it to the actual card. And this was one of those matches where I really wish. Now, I know some people are going to say, yeah, but now we can see these pre-shows on YouTube and Facebook and on WWE's website, but not everybody is going to be flocking to see a pre-show matchup that really is consistent of some cruiserweights. Not, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody's going to be flocking to go see it. So in a case like this, I really wish that in some instances, matches like this would make it on the actual card itself. But it definitely set the tone, I would have to say, as far as what was expected to come of the night. It definitely had got you excited. And I continue to be amazed. I put this out on Twitter earlier today. I continue to be amazed by Buddy Murphy. Just when you look at him physically and you just think back to where he was when he was first coming up through the ranks of NXT, and you see the dedication that he has to himself as far as his physical stature, as far as the conditioning and everything that he's doing in the ring, it speaks large volumes in my mind of how dedicated he is in going in there and putting in the work night in and night out. And what a great dance partner he had in Akira Tozawa tonight. I definitely got to make sure I show love to Akira, because the past few times that these two have locked up, past few times that Akira has been in singles action, he's been bringing it as well. And you know, you kind of felt that the writing was on the wall that Murphy was going to come out of this retaining the title when they kept bringing up his streak as far as how long he's been holding on to that cruiserweight title now. So going into WrestleMania, I mean, for me, it didn't surprise me one little bit that Murphy was going to come out of this retaining his cruiserweight title, but that was a really good match. Like I said at the top, I really wish that both of these men would have been able to make it to the actual card. Of course, had they made it to the actual card, okay, so this means the pay-per-view runs a little later then, yeah? Yeah, if you really stop and think about it, because if the pay-per-view went off a couple of minutes before 10:30, then that means these guys would have, okay, so the pay-per-view overall, just factor in Murphy and Tozawa, that means the pay-per-view probably wouldn't have gone off until about 10:45, almost 10:50. So I'm okay. I'm okay with the fact that it didn't make it to the actual pay-per-view, but honestly, I think the way that this can be redeemed when it comes to the Fastlane kickoff show, no cruiserweights, especially if Buddy Murphy is going to be doing it again. If that's going to be your only cruiserweight representation for that entire night, then you need to have Murphy be moved to the main card. That seems more than fair. And if you want to put some people in the kickoff, I think you should go with Lacey Evans. Maybe you go with a Nikki Cross. Maybe you go with Heavy Machinery. You could do it like that. And while I'm still thinking about Heavy Machinery and everything, during the kickoff show, we had saw the gang. They got crashed by Sheamus and Cesaro, and they were talking about the upcoming tag team match between the Usos, Miz, Shane McMahon. We actually saw Heavy Machinery come out, and they, you know, basically both tag teams were talking trash to one another, but Cesaro, Sheamus making a good point to Heavy Machinery. Hey, can you guys make up your mind which show are you going to be a part of? Are you going to be on Raw or are you going to be on SmackDown? And the guys really didn't have an answer. They just basically said, well, we like being on both. If we can help it, we actually would love to do both shows. So I don't know if maybe there was some type of a tease right there that maybe in the near future we were going to be seeing these teams lock it up or what. But I got to tell you, that particular segment alone, it really did not flow that well, for the simple fact it felt like a feeling out process between these two tag teams. It just did not jar well whatsoever. It felt like watching a clusterfuck, if I can be totally honest. And I'm not saying that the tag teams were shitty. I'm just saying, as far as the way this segment was orchestrated, yeah, on paper, it seemed like it was a really good idea, but I tell you what, Heavy Machinery showed their greenness in their promo going back and forth with Sheamus and Cesaro, and even Sheamus and Cesaro kind of seemed a bit baffled at what they had on their hands. The young kids in Heavy Machinery just, and look, they're grown-ass men, no doubt about that, but kids from the standpoint of, welcome to the main roster. That's what I mean by kids. They got that greenness behind the back of their ears. It just did not flow well whatsoever. So I'm glad that they pretty much had wrapped that segment up all together. Let's see. Let's keep on rolling here. Can we talk about the first matchup for the night? Let's go there. First matchup. A lot of people were under the impression that maybe it was going to open up, or rather be the main event match of the night, but it was not. I'm talking about the Elimination Tag Team match for the inaugural WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Yeah, that actually had kicked off the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view event. It was good. Of all the matches on the card for the night, I would have to say this was the one match that had me most curious, because I felt this really could have gone either way. I wasn't fully invested in Bayley, Sasha Banks becoming the inaugural women's tag team champions. I just wasn't 100% fully sold on it. So of all the matches that piqued my curiosity the most, because let's be honest, this card overall, it really did come off very predictable. It really did. And so much so, when you look at a lot of the picks that everybody had, it was almost mirror images. They're definitely, just looking at the card in retrospect, were there any curveballs? I would say maybe 2 curveballs at the least, 2 curveballs. And one of those curveballs we'll talk about in a bit. But the women's tag team matchup for the titles, overall, you know, it was good. I didn't like the finish. The finish just seemed very anticlimactic. You know, there wasn't, it was weird watching it too, because especially when I go back and I look at this match, I look at the Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Championship, and okay, Elimination Chamber, let's see what you guys are going to do. Are you guys going to really properly utilize the chamber? Is somebody going to be doing some type of a high-risk maneuver? Is somehow a scenario going to go down where some people are managed to get outside of the steel cage structure and they're fighting outside? They take it up to the top. Are we going to see something like that? I'm not saying we got to see a Mick Foley, oh my God, he's broken in half. I'm not saying we need to see something like that, but are we going to get some type of a spot where, oh my God? And when you just look back on both of those Elimination Chamber matches, sadly, we didn't get any spots like that. It was just basically, okay, typical elimination match. Yeah, anything goes. Okay, somebody runs into the steel cage structure. Whoopie-doo. Somebody runs into the plexiglass. Whoopie-doo. But that was really it as far as Extreme goes. So, you know, for me, I really thought we were going to see a spot somewhere in this women's elimination match where it was going to play out like I said it was going to play out, and the men would just do everything in their power to keep it more in-house. That way, more of the attention and buzz can be put on the women, since this is the first ever Elimination Chamber match to crown some tag champions, right? But it didn't play out that way. Was quite disappointed in that. I love the spot, and it had me chuckling big time. I love the spot where Nia Jax tried to steamroll through somebody. I forgot who she was trying to take out, but she crashed through a chamber pod, knocked herself out unconscious, and then all the girls, they basically acted like wolves out in the middle of freaking winter, deep out in some snow, surrounding their prey, which is Tamina, and they just went all in on Tamina. I mean, they gave her a serious ass beating. All of them pinned her down, and pretty much the team of Nia Jax and Tamina were taken out that way. That was surprising to me, because the people I had winning this, I actually thought it was going to be Tamina and Nia Jax, and just still riding off of the buzz that she's been having these past several weeks, pissing people off on social media, the social media engagement, impressions, all of that. I really thought that WWE was gonna smartly continue to capitalize on Nia Jax and maybe really have it be a situation where Sasha Banks and Bayley chase after Nia Jax and Tamina going into WrestleMania, and then get the tag titles that way, have their big WrestleMania moment. and it didn't play out that way. And I'll tell you this much as well. I was also entertaining the idea, okay, well, on top of Nia Jax and Tamina winning the tag titles, could we maybe now see a scenario where seeds were planted in previous months of maybe there was going to be a feud between Becky and Sasha Banks? Well, now that everything culminated to what went down tonight and they didn't come away with the tag belts, could we now maybe see a situation where somebody turns on the other? I've always felt that Sasha Banks did such good work, some of her best work as a heel. Could you maybe have a heel Sasha Banks work with a Bayley going into WrestleMania? So the fact that none of that played out the way that I figured it was going to be playing out, now you can't help but wonder, okay, well, going into Fastlane, going into WrestleMania, what are you going to do now? Since all of these pay-per-views are co-branded, right? It's a joint effort. So what are you going to do now? Are you maybe going to have a tag team tournament where some new number one contenders will be named to face Sasha and Bayley at Fastlane? Is this going to be an effort that you combine the Raw and SmackDown, and pretty much by the time Fastlane comes around, I think at this point it makes all the sense in the world that you have a SmackDown tag team face the Raw Women's Tag Champions. That just makes all the sense in the world. I really don't believe in let it be in-house, basically some Raw women face. I think, honestly, the way that you do it is whatever female team for SmackDown gets named the number one contenders, they go on ahead next pay-per-view, they face the Raw Women's Tag Champions. And if the SmackDown girls get the tag titles, you flip it. Rinse, repeat. You just keep basically doing it like that. I got to give a mad shout out and props to Liv Morgan and also Sonya Deville. They really freaking stepped it up tonight. I was quite pleased with their work. Very pleased with their work. Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, they did nothing for me as usual. I wish these two were completely out of the picture altogether. For me, they were screaming like fucking chocobos in Final Fantasy every single time they were opening their mouths once they were legal and they're in the ring. I couldn't stand that shit. It were irritating as fuck. It wasn't even the go away heat irritating. It was just straight up shut the fuck up. Seriously. My God, they're killing me, man. Shout out to Gunna in the Discord chat. He's saying that the app in the Android store, it works really fine. Once again, for those of you that maybe have been very patient with the web stream on YouTube and you're continuing to notice some serious lag, you are more than welcome to come check out the show live on Spreaker right now. Matter of fact, you just go to Spreaker.com/user/the RCWR show, or just go to Spreaker.com and you just type in the search the RCWR show and you'll see that we're live. Not that hard to find us. And usually the way I have everything set up in my system program here, shit will try to automatically adjust itself, and it doesn't seem like that's working this go round. So I do apologize for you guys checking out the web stream. We'll definitely have the audio version of this be available soon as the broadcast is over. So I do appreciate y'all's patience and do apologize for any inconvenience this may be causing right now. Keep rocking, keep on rolling. We had for the WWE SmackDown Tag titles, we had Jimmy and Jey Uso. They actually defeated Miz and Shane McMahon. Wow, is all I have to say, because, we last did our show Tuesday. So since then, there's been a lot of wrestling news that's come about, and unless you've been under a rock, you know what went down with Jimmy Uso getting in trouble with the law once again. And then you also remember, hey, just last month, he had made the headlines and WWE puts out their generic statement. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Uso is responsible for their own actions, blah, 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 outside of the arena, outside of the company or whatever. So, looking at this matchup, you're going, okay, well, really, there should be no reason why Miz and Shane would lose the titles, right? I mean, this union has been working pretty well. But most importantly, when you hear the news about Jimmy Uso, well, shit, nah, there's no way you could put the tag belts on the Usos and not after one of them got in trouble once again. Like, the brother just got in trouble last month, and here he is, new month, he gets in trouble again. So we're going to reward bad behavior by, and you saw what I said on social media when the news had broke out. I said, you can't do this. You can't do this when all eyes is set on the biggest pay-per-view event of them all. And you're going to be getting one of your biggest paychecks of the year. You're going to be involved in so many media obligation / opportunities, good brand awareness, not just for the WWE, but brand awareness for yourself, because your name is a brand as well. So you got all of this great buzz that's going to be going on, and this is basically being risked to some stupid crap that should have never even happened in the first place. So we're going to reward somewhat bad behavior? Like, that's kind of the message that is really being sent in my eyes. So for me, I was quite pleasantly surprised that the Usos had went over and became the SmackDown Tag Champions once again. I really, really was. If there was any part of me that thought at any time that Shane McMahon and The Miz would not work, somebody would turn on the other, I honestly felt that, nah, it's not going to happen. Oh, okay, let me tell you the perfect scenario. Before what went down with Jimmy Uso, originally what I had going on in my mind, I felt that Shane McMahon was going to be the individual that was going to be worked a lot during the match. And it was going to get to a point where Miz was going to be looking for the hot tag. And then, for just no apparent reason, leave Shane McMahon high and dry. When Shane needs that hot tag the most, Miz does not give it to him. And the commentators are just selling the hell out of that moment. Usos go over that way. Miz comes back, picks up the damaged goods, does the skull crushing finale, all that crap. Why, Miz? Why? I thought maybe you were going to have that type of a setup. But then once the stuff went down with Jimmy Uso, I automatically said, well, nah, man, there's just no way you could possibly put the tag belts back on the Usos, not after this negative bad press. I said negative and bad. That's a negative and a negative. Excuse me for that. But yeah, that just rubbed me the wrong way, right? But then what was the buzzkill was Miz coming out, bringing out his wife Maryse, dedicating the tag match to his wife and his dad and blah, blah, blah. And then him and Maryse break out some big news. Apparently, they're going to be welcoming another child into the family. I couldn't help but say, shit, Miz, can you leave the woman alone for at least another year? She just got back her good-looking body before she got pregnant and all that. Don't get me wrong, she looked very cute when she was pregnant. Ain't nothing wrong with a pregnant woman, right? But I don't know. I think there's just that part of me because I've basically grown up on Miz. I've grown up on Maryse. There's just that part of me that, you know, sometimes forgets that they're almost in the same age range as I am, and they're at that stage in their life right now where they're thinking about, okay, let's start a family, let's build on, let's continue it on, let's add on. So, you know, for me, sometimes I still have that mindset, let Maryse just come on out there, run interference, maybe have a couple of matches here and there. You know, I'm so used to that still, you know, even though she really wasn't hardly doing that much the first rodeo round, right? Before the marriage, the baby and all that. But you definitely put a smile on my face to know that, okay, well, look, outside of the ring, these guys, they're continuing to be extremely happy. They're still continuing to be rocking and rolling. Hey, more power to them. So if you are the Miz right now and Maryse, you gotta just be in cloud nine right now, cause you got yourself a nice good little payday for what went down tonight. It's inevitable. You've got this Miz versus Shane McMahon. The real question is, who's going to turn on who? Is it going to be Miz that's going to turn, or is it going to be Shane? You got to admit, after the match was over, seeing Shane McMahon and Miz embrace each other, and Miz is checking in with him, finding out if he's all good. Shane's like, yeah, I'm okay, just a little banged up, I'm all right. They go up to the ramp area. I don't know about you all. I damn sure was expecting for somebody to turn on somebody. Particularly, I was expecting Miz to turn on Shane O'Mac, and it didn't happen. So now, going into this week's SmackDown, okay, so what exactly is going to happen here? And given the fact that you got Fastlane, I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to say when whoever turns on whoever, right? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say that normally you hear the scenario of no more automatic rematch clauses. But I would not be surprised if Miz was able to convince Shane O'Mac, hey, we weren't really prepared. You know, we got these guys down now. We're not going to take them for granted. Let's do this again. We owe it to ourselves. We owe it to the team. Just following the storyline, Miz seems like the type that would initiate that type of dialogue. So I could see once again Miz, Shane O'Mac teaming up, Fastlane, try to win back those titles. But then the Usos still come out on top. Miz betrays Shane then. Or if you really want to flip it, you could have Shane be the one to turn on Miz. But I rather like the idea more of Miz turning on Shane. Because remember, Miz is the one that wants to do everything in his power to make his dad proud, make his daughter proud, unborn child proud, all that, right? So he does have this still vanity issue that comes about him, right? So for Shane O'Mac to be the one that is technically the dead weight this second go round, that basically it's Shane O'Mac that did not carry his weight in helping them get the tag titles, you can tell that story really well. And not to mention, honestly, Miz has always done a phenomenal job as the heel. So we'll see how that one goes. But I think that it's going to be Usos, McMiz one more time at Fastlane. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We have Finn Balor defeat Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush. It was a handicap match for the Intercontinental Championship. Of all the matches, this was the second shortest match of the night. Again, the second shortest match of the night. I honestly, and a lot of people, did not expect Finn Balor to come out of this as the Intercontinental Champion. Now, if you ask me personally, it really came off to me as though powers that be were very fixated on Bobby Lashley because of the look, all that. And then you pair him up with Lio Rush. Lio Rush kind of helping Bobby Lashley a little bit. It just really seemed as though, yeah, Finn Balor, he's cool. He's got his little fan base. That's nice. Yeah. But we like this toy over here. This toy is better. That's how it always came off. Well, yeah, but Finn Balor, you know, look, we've tested him out in front of the market, and kids love him. Guys love him. Girls love him. And you know, Bobby, yeah, that's nice. But Bobby Lashley, I mean, look, it's Bobby Lashley. It's Bobby Lashley. Look at him. I mean, just look at him. We can sell that. That's $1 million right there. Yeah, that's nice. But come on, it's Bobby. Bobby! I mean, look. So the fact that they took the Intercontinental title off of Balor, off of Lashley, and they put it on Balor, it was a very surprising move. I welcome it, though. I really, really welcome it, because truth be told, the Bobby Lashley experiment, it's failed on so many levels. I remember being on this very show and Bobby Lashley had made his WWE return. I said, hey, for what all he was able to do in Impact Wrestling, he was pretty solid as a heel. Let's see what happens this go around coming into the WWE. maybe the way they could go about approaching him. Maybe they could try and sell the story of Bobby Lashley, the MMA fighter, and I was always under the impression eventually he would lock it up with Brock Lesnar. And now it looks as though that's probably never going to happen, but just the way that they have gone about Bobby Lashley, just the booking and all that, it's been piss poor. I have to honestly say it's been very, very piss poor. I haven't liked it whatsoever. Very disappointed by it, if I can be brutally honest. I feel that the Bobby Lashley experiment has been a straight up bust. And for everything, look, Lio Rush, damn good talker. Damn good talker, damn good charisma, all that. You got to give him a lot of props because he tried. He tried to work with, it's like working with a brick wall in Bobby Lashley. He tried his damnedest. And you kind of felt, okay, well, it can't be that bad if he's working with Lio Rush. Surely a lot more personality and all that will come out in working with Lio, and no progress has been made for Lashley whatsoever. If you want to tell me that progress is basically Bobby Lashley bending over, spanking his butt cheeks and spreading them apart, if you want to tell me that's his progress, fuck that shit. I'll go with Finn Balor any goddamn day of the week. Not to mention, Finn Balor in his own respected right is a decent merchandise pusher. You look into every single WWE crowd, there's always people pushing Balor gear. Take your pick, boy, girl, man, woman, take your pick. There's always people in the WWE crowds representing Balor Club. So the fact that Balor has the IC title, I'm down with that. I'm really, really down with that. Made me smile. It put a big ass smile on my face because I honestly did not think they were going to pull that trigger on Balor. And look, if the reports are true that the powers that be in WWE want to do everything humanly possible to get Balor over at a time right now where they don't have Roman Reigns. And you notice the card tonight, there was no Seth Rollins. We got those reports out there that Rollins is a little bit banged up, so they're trying to rest him a little bit. Rollins' presence would have greatly been appreciated on this card. Maybe even to a certain degree, Dean Ambrose's appearance on this card maybe would have been greatly appreciated, considering all of the real estate that you had going on tonight. As far as entertainment goes, Walking Dead just came back, right? So this was their second episode tonight. It looks like now you got a reformed Negan. So you think. Whispers. You've got the conclusion of All-Star Weekend, NBA action. Okay? So you're like, okay, do I really want to be watching this? Or do I really, so if there was ever a time to really bring out the heavy guns, you definitely should have done it tonight by any means necessary. You should have done it tonight, but they didn't. So very weird booking too. Weird booking with regards to later on during the night. We'll talk about that in a hot second. Let's go to our next matchup. The shortest match of the entire night. Ronda Rousey defeating Ruby Riott to retain the Raw Women's Championship. Look, I don't think anybody was like, oh, Ruby Riott. I don't think anybody, come on, seriously, okay, seriously. I don't think anybody, and if you were, shame on you, because you are just really in love with Ruby Riott. I'll excuse you this time, but seriously, 1:40 seconds. That's how long this match was. 1:40 seconds. Look, you want to tell me wins and losses don't mean anything. It's about telling the story, yada, yada, yada. I am okay with that. I'm totally fine with that. But I'm sorry, me being just a guy that, call me, I don't know, wishful thinking, the king of wishful thinking, or call me a guy that is just, I don't know, trying to do good business by the talent. But if I do this scenario where I have Ruby Riott ultimately become the #1 contender to face Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship, shouldn't I have her go in there and look decently strong? Shouldn't I have her go in there? Okay, she may not have the MMA background and all that as a Ronda Rousey, but you know, in her own right, she has the one up over Ronda as far as how long she's been a wrestling veteran. So can I at least get somewhat of a competitive matchup? Can I at least get a little something something? And I just don't like the way this match was booked. I mean, honestly, I really wish it would have been a scenario where when Ronda Rousey was on her way out, I really wish that Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, they would have beat the holy crap out of her before the bell rings, and then Ruby Riott comes out, and then you can pretty much tell that story that way as far as why Ruby Riott has the one up over Ronda. I totally would have been fine with that, but that's really not the story that was told, and it was very infuriating on so many levels. And then the other thing that really was a head scratcher, and if I did not know my video games, I wouldn't even know. But you have Ronda Rousey come out. Fans are already used to seeing her with the rowdy gear, the jacket, the makeup, all that stuff, right? And now you have her come out looking like a damn reject from Janet Jackson's Control video, right? We are a part of the Rhythm Nation. I mean, that's how she's looking when you see her. And, you know, I'm scratching my head and I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this Rhythm Nation reject? Oh, the video game. Yeah, Mortal Kombat, right? And you had to have Cole in the game remind you. I think that was just too much. I'm sure other people had looked at that and they were going, what the fuck? Right? And keep in mind, this game is not coming out until April. This game is not coming out until. So for me, it makes all the sense in the world if you're going to be plugging this game and you're going to have Ronda Rousey. That should have been a WrestleMania moment, if I can be totally honest. That honestly should have been a WrestleMania moment. Have Ronda Rousey come out in the Mortal Kombat gear and all that. That way, she's done enough media blitz and hyping her appearance, her skin render and all that in the game. That would have made all the sense in the world. But if you absolutely had to plug it before WrestleMania, then I think you should have spent consecutive weeks just, hey, Ronda Rousey, she's going to be part of the next Mortal Kombat game, blah, blah, blah. Keep putting it in people's mind. Don't let it be a one-shot, one-week deal. You keep bringing it up, you know, week after week after week. The social media pages, you do the full blitz, but particular on the shows. Whenever possible, you keep mentioning it. That way, when you finally do, like, let's say after a month, right? Let's say if you just were hyping up all of February going into Fastlane. That's enough time for everybody to be on the same page about what Ronda's doing with whatever video game. That way, when the Fastlane pay-per-view comes around, oh, hey, she's dressing like the Mortal Kombat character. Oh, hey, cool, or whatever. But that, for me, it just felt so flat. You see the reactions. That was flat on so many levels. Also, you know, the crowd tonight, as this event had came to us at the, I believe the Toyota Center out there in Houston, Texas, which, by the way, the Royal Rumble is going to be hosting the, WWE's Royal Rumble is going to be hosted by Texas next year. It's going to be at a baseball stadium, and that's pretty cool. There hasn't been any wrestling action since the late 80s, apparently. So the fact that it's going to be happening at a outdoor baseball stadium next year, I'm actually pretty excited for that. The last WWE event that we had that was at a dugout and all that, with this year's Royal Rumble, if I'm not mistaken, that was pretty cool how they had all that set up. Was it the Royal Rumble that had the dugout? My mind's a little bit fuzzy right now, so you guys got to forgive me, but I believe it was Royal Rumble. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong there, because I hate giving the wrong information. Post-match, because Charlotte Flair was kicking back, had a front row seat to everything that came about. And for the record, I love Ruby Riott. I don't like the fact that she was cut down to size like that. Her stock was just, if you want to tell me, hey, it's not always about the wins and the losses, understand something. I'm not saying I have a problem with Ruby Riott losing, but can you tell such a good story that could make Ruby Riott look viable, that could make her look like she's at least some type of a threat for whatever respective reasons, whether she had help or what have you? At least tell that story, because this girl has to come back out less than 24 hours later, make fans give a damn, is all I'm saying. Have her lose, that's fine, but let her lose in a much grander fashion than a minute 40 fucking seconds. You have somebody job out a minute 40 seconds if they're Alicia Fox, or if they're fucking Dana Brooke, right? Or if they're Billie Kay or Peyton Royce. Do that to one of them. I know that just really irked me out in seeing that. But post-match, Charlotte Flair gets in the ring. Her, Ronda Rousey, they have a stare down. Becky Lynch is coming in on the crutch. Had her colors switched out. She looked like the bride from fucking Kill Bill. I'm just looking at her just limping her way into the ring, and I just got the song humming in my head. My baby shot me down. That damn Kill Bill song, My Baby Shot Me Down. All-time favorite. I love the Kill Bill volumes 1 and 2. If you ask me which one did I enjoy more, I enjoyed volume 2 because of the fight that went down, in particular with Vivica Fox. But then all time, and it's probably one of the all-time greatest segments in cinema history, I loved when Uma Thurman's The Bride was interacting with David Carradine, and Carradine went over the Superman mythology. And I remember vividly when I was watching the movie in the theaters and hearing that Superman mythology, just the brilliant way Quentin Tarantino had went about it. My mind was just like, just the way he went over that shit. Royal Rumble, Gunna, thank you. Gunna was correcting me from earlier with regards to the dugout that we saw last time. It was at the Rumble for this year. Yeah, but fucking, when they did the Superman mythology in Kill Bill, my mind was so fucking blown. It was like, wow. So to see freaking Becky Lynch come out with her Kill Bill inspired outfit, I was just rolling, and everybody was going, wiggle your big toe, Becky, wiggle your big toe. I'm right there with you guys. As soon as I saw it, all I was saying to myself, where's the fucking samurai sword? I also had the, your name is Buck and you love to fuck. If you've never seen Kill Bill, you gotta look up online Kill Bill Buck scene. That's all you gotta do. Kill Bill Buck. And you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Fucking hilarious when you see what happens to poor Buck. But Becky Lynch limping her way into the ring, demanding that she still be part of this, you know, and eventually we see Becky Lynch grab a crutch, one of her crutches, and she beats the holy hell out of, who was it? Charlotte Flair with it. Ronda is looking on. Eventually, Becky turns her eyes to Ronda. Ronda has one of the crutches and is saying, nah, come on, bring it. I'm ready for you, come on. Becky kind of gives you the impression she doesn't want to fight Ronda, that her quarrel is with Charlotte. And she's saying to Ronda, go ahead, if you want to beat her up, go ahead. So looks like Ronda's maybe going to get her some. And then Becky just starts going wild on the crutch on Ronda, leaves both of those girls laid out. The storyline, look, I like it. I like the renegadeness to it because it gives you that whole Stone Cold, I'm not going to do what you tell me to do. I'm a renegade, right? I like that. I'm anti-authority. I like that. But see, let's be for real here. Here she is, again, trespassing. She's not supposed to be anywhere in a WWE ring. She showed up at a WWE live event over the weekend, got her ass handed to her, so she's trespassing there. She's trespassing today. Now look, man, I believe in storyline consistency. I believe in common sense consistency. Riddle me this, children. How in the blue fuck are you gonna have Enzo Amore show up at SummerSlam?
Hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Don't mind me over here. I'm minding my own business. I just got this big ass fucking Roy Orbison Beatles hairdo on. How you doing? I got this hoodie on, and I'm not bothering anybody. You barely notice me over here. I'm just trying to watch the show in peace with my friends here. How you doing? You wanna hear a nice joke? Knock knock. Who's there? Kid. Kid who? The kid that tried to say I raped her and she lost her little lawsuit. Ha 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 ha.
You know, so for me, as quick as WWE security was to get on Enzo Amore and ban his ass, and now they're talking about, you know, working with local authorities and making sure that, you know, push come to shove and he's at another event, he gets arrested on the spot, all this shit. If we could apply that same type of mentality, right? Or you go into WWE Hall of Fame weekend, hey, these stars, if you see them, they're to be escorted off the premises, they're not invited, they're banned, right? So if you can have that same type of energy, that same type of focus in those areas, then in a storyline, how is it that by now no one of the authority has said, Becky Lynch, if you even remotely step 1 foot in a WWE arena, you will not just have to worry about being suspended indefinitely, because that's going to be off the table. No, you will be immediately fired. Your contract is terminated. And if you try to come after that, we will press charges on you. We will set you up so bad that you won't be able to work for any wrestling promotion. You won't even be able to go work for Impact or TNA, just to get everybody going, ooh, while in actuality, TNA is out of business. It's actually Impact Wrestling now, right? I wish that there would be some type of story consistency like that. And sadly, that's where there's the flaw. And as far as how they're going to now get to that situation of Becky officially being part of this, the only way I can see this happening, I touched upon it briefly on the show earlier this week. And what they're going to have to do is at some point, you're going to have Becky Lynch pull an undercover boss. She's going to have to wear some type of a disguise, something. And she's going to have to go to WWE headquarters. I don't know. And honestly, it makes all the sense in the world. She needs to somehow extract revenge on Vince McMahon. Stephanie Hunter, they tried to do what was right for business. They accepted her apology. Storyline wise, and you want to keep up with consistency, Becky should have no quarrels with the authority. It's Vince McMahon that's her problem. So once again, she needs to go undercover, wear some type of a disguise, somehow gets herself in the room with Vince McMahon one-on-one, and basically that's your Stone Cold Vince McMahon moment. She beats the hell out of him, all that shit, demands that she be reinstated back in the match, all that, and have it drawn up in such a way where she gets the paperwork filled out, has Vince McMahon fill out the paperwork, give the override that she's now back in the match. But in that same visit, while she's there, there's got to be some paperwork drawn up so that once she puts her John Hancock on it, it cannot be voided. And that if it is voided, the McMahon family are going to have to pay her like buku's fucking money. And if there's one thing that Vince McMahon loves is to not lose a boatload of money, right? So he needs to be in a position where, okay, well, Becky did this to me, but it is what it is. I'm stuck with this now. It was either that or she was going to beat the living shit out of me. You got to somehow set it up like that. Otherwise, I just don't know what other approach you could take. I'm curious what you guys think. Let me know, but somehow you got to make the dots connect, because right now there is some serious stupidity going on. Also, I saw a discrepancy as far as Becky Lynch in the ring. She had the crutch on, let me think now. She had the crutch on the good leg, and some people kind of felt a little bit confused about that, because I put a tweet out basically saying, way to not sell the leg injury. And some people were saying, well, wait a minute, I've heard that it makes sense to have your crutch on the leg that is not injured so that you can give it the necessary pain relief. That's true, and that is true. But depending on whoever your doctor is, the nurse or whatever, you basically win either way. I don't really think that was anything to be focusing on, honestly. I think, honestly, what we really should have been focusing on is what the fuck is going on with the security, right? It just sends a bad message that for basically 2 WWE events in a row, you can't nip it in the bud when it comes to Becky Lynch. That's all I'm saying. See, other than that, let's see. Baron Corbin taking on Braun Strowman. Oh, drizzling shits. This match was straight up drizzling shits. I never thought this match was going to end. I felt tortured watching this. I really, really did. And this was a no DQ match. You figured that maybe Corbin was going to be butchered. Tremendously butchered in this one, but numbers game. That's what it was all about. The numbers game, and the numbers game was in the favor of Baron Corbin. Closing moments of this one, we saw Drew McIntyre followed up with Bobby Lashley. They actually had helped Baron Corbin. They did a serious gang up on Strowman. Set up, I believe, 2 stacked wooden tables on top of each other. Powerbomb Strowman through them in the middle of the ring. Kind of had like a mini Shield version of their triple power bomb, if you will, or power slam, whatever the fuck you want to call it. They basically did the Shield trademark. I thought it was rather interesting that Finn Balor, who has worked with Braun Strowman in the past, and most recently we saw an angle where Braun Strowman has said to Balor, hey, you go out there and good luck to you, man. Remember that? Remember that? When it was revealed that Finn Balor had an opportunity to become a #1 contender, go on to face Brock Lesnar? Anybody remember that? I remember Braun Strowman wishing Balor lots of luck. So Balor wins the Intercontinental Championship. Storyline-wise, he doesn't come out to try to help a friend out. Kurt Angle came out. What, he doesn't know how to return the favor tonight? It's just, this was really confusing tonight. It really, really was, because this does not match up with the Braun Strowman from several months back when he was chasing after Roman Reigns for the WWE Universal title, and he realized once he got his ass beat by the Shield, okay, so this is the game that they want to play. They want to do a numbers game. And almost immediately after that, Braun Strowman went out, and next thing you know, he aligned himself with Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. So you're telling me, where's the consistency here? That's what I'm saying. It was weak. It was flat on so many levels. It was stupid booking. And yeah, how's that new era of the Authority doing for you guys, by the way?
We're gonna give you something new. We're gonna listen to you all, because you are the voice, and we're gonna do what you want us to do.
Well, I don't recall a bunch of people asking to continue to see boring Corbin and the Scottishman McIntyre and boring ass Bobby Lashley, I don't recall a bunch of people jumping up and down.
Oh, joy. Bobby Lashley, Baron Corbin, McIntyre. Oh, goody, goody.
Yeah, whatever. That was a waste of fucking time. Now, you know, going back to what I said at the top, Buddy Murphy, Akira Tozawa, replace this shitty ass match with that good match, and you know what? I'd have been perfect with that. Overall, I gotta give this pay-per-view 7 matches total. Buddy Murphy, Tozawa, that was a really good matchup. The WWE Championship match, that actually was pretty good. The Women's Elimination Chamber match, that was good as well. That was good as well. But in the particular order, I'd go Buddy Murphy, Akira Tozawa first. Men's Elimination Chamber match second. Women's Elimination Chamber match third. I would go in that order. Everything else was was lackluster for me, quite honestly. I would have to say, scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give the pay-per-view a 5. 5 out of 10. That's where I am. I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. Let's swing on back and let's look at the results on Twitter one more time. And right now, we're almost up to 80 votes. So far, we've got 19% that are giving tonight's Elimination Chamber a thumbs down. Keep right on rocking here. 25% are staying in the middle. 56% are giving the pay-per-view a thumbs up. Shout out to everybody that was interacting with me on Twitter tonight. Rebel Yell. Oh my God, dude, you got me thinking Billy Idol now. I might play that as soon as I get off the air. With Rebel Yell, she want more. Wow, in the midnight hour, baby. More. I love that song. Oh yeah, my little darling. She want more. Love that. Oh God. Good song, man. Good song. I like the acoustic version. There's an acoustic version that was released on Billy Idol's Greatest Hits. I think it's the first Greatest Hits. It's a black background, young Billy Idol from the 80s in black and white. There's a nice acoustic version that's on there. That joint is the shit. Rebel Yell had said that Braun Strowman match was a pathetic waste of time. The Ruby Riott versus Ronda Rousey match was awful. Love the women's tag team match. Those ladies did a great job. Kofi was amazing. I just wish he would have won. He deserves it. Curtis. Drapes. John Draper. Shout out John Draper from Wrestling Soup. Drapes going for the upset and picking Daniel Bryan. Well, he picked right. I mean, honestly, how could you pick against Daniel Bryan tonight? Seriously. See what you guys are saying on YouTube, because we gave you guys enough time to post your thoughts about the pay-per-view. Let's see what we got so far. She won't roll. See what we got here. Mo. Steven. Lee, I enjoyed the match with Sasha, Banks, Bailey, the Iconics. Basically, you love the women's. You don't have to put all their names out there like that, my friend. Just say the women's match. We know which one you're talking about. I really think that Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper. Oh, God, Steven. Brother, you got to take your time typing this stuff up because it seems so jumbled up, man. Let me see if I can help clean this up a little bit. Okay, it seems like what Steven is trying to say is he likes the idea of Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper teaming up with Braun Strowman. Normally, I would say, but I'm not seeing that right now. I'm just not seeing that. Just following the storyline, it makes all the sense in the world that Kurt Angle, because remember, Braun had Kurt's back. Why Kurt did not have Strowman's back tonight is beyond me. But it seems like the direction that you want to go, the story that you want to tell, is Braun aligning himself with Kurt Angle, and ultimately Finn Balor. Seems like that's the story that you really want to tell, Steven. As far as Luke Harper, Bray Wyatt, you know, for all we know, that could very well be a situation where maybe they come on over to the SmackDown side and help out Daniel Bryan. It very well could happen. Have to wait and see. Saw another vignette for frickin' Kevin Owens this go around. He was eating pineapple pizza and talking about how ecstatic he is to be nice and healed up. Now he can't wait to come back into the WWE, bring back the Kevin Owens show. Ugh, pineapple pizza. I can barely tolerate barbecue chicken pizza. My favorite pizza though, you give me a nice good meat lovers pizza, or a good pizza that's steak and cheese. I even like a good pizza with sardines on it. Give me any one of those. I'm in heaven. I am in heaven. I like the spot that went down with Lacey Evans. I can't believe we almost got done talking about the pay-per-view and we had that spot with Lacey Evans. I mean, she pulled a Grandpa Simpson. She's coming down the ramp. Like, okay, we're getting an improv match. Okay, we need to kill a little bit of time. I'm down with that. Who's going to come out? Nikki Cross maybe going to play with Lacey Evans? What's going on here? She just comes right down to the bottom of the ramp, spins her behind right back around, and rolls out. That joint was just whatever. Anyway, looking at the polling results here. All right, we got about 5% of you all that's giving Elimination Chamber. This is via YouTube, by the way, in the Communities tab section. We got 5% of you giving the pay-per-view a thumbs down. 32% of you are giving it a staying in the middle. And 63% of you are giving the pay-per-view a thumbs up. So that's, you know, it's pretty consistent, almost a mirror image. All right, so you guys that might be listening via Discord, if you guys want to share your thoughts on the pay-per-view tonight, you can feel free to do so. I can actually bring you live on the air. So if you want your mic on, you can definitely just hop on in and say a little something about the pay-per-view tonight. Or if you're scared to talk, you can type in a little something in the chat, and I can read what you guys are saying in there. And I'm just thinking, as far as final thoughts go for the pay-per-view tonight, I'm trying, you know, I'm going back and I'm looking at this card one more time. If they could have just eliminated the Baron Corbin Strowman match altogether, if they could have made the Ruby Riott Ronda Rousey match at least 10 minutes, I don't think that would have hurt anybody. Make it at least 10 minutes. What else? Usos, Ms. Mac. It was a decent tag match. I just think with the way that the finish went down, I think that was really a punch to the gut. I don't think many of us were expecting that turnout. Yeah, so really I'm homing in on the Baron Corbin, Braun Strowman, Ruby Riott, Rousey. You know, if they could have tweaked those two more. And the finish, change the finish of the women's elimination tag. Like, even if it was going to be Bayley and Sasha Banks, if you could have made the finish even more, you know, it just felt kind of rushed and very, well, that was kind of out of nowhere, you know, premature ejaculation. That was, I think if they could have cleaned up in those three respected areas, I could probably give this pay-per-view maybe, I would probably give it maybe a 7.5 out of 10. But tonight, I'm just going to stick to giving it a 5. I'm sticking to a 5. I see some typing. I got Freddie saying overall there were some enjoyable matches, but a lot of things wrong with storytelling earlier. I had given it a 7 out of 10. So Freddie is staying firm at a 7 out of 10. What about you, Guna? Guna, what would you give the pay-per-view tonight? Just looking back on it. And I'm just scrolling back to some of the other comments that I'm seeing from earlier tonight. Let's see. Lee Strack is giving it 8.5. That is very gracious. You are much too kind, my friend. I like to know what you were watching. You gave it an 8.5. I'm not knocking it. You are very kind to the WWE. That's how you make sure you don't get yourself a fruitcake this holiday season by the WWE, my friend. You playing it safe. All right, let's see what else we got here. Let's see what else we got here. Nice. I'm just scrolling through here, making sure I'm not missing anything. So I'm glad the Discord went good. I really am glad. Again, you know, and while I'm buying Guna a chance, because I see him typing, if you haven't subscribed yet, do subscribe to the RCWR show. You can definitely, you need to be checking out the Patreon content, patreon.com/RCWR show. Get access to exclusive bonus audio video content you won't be able to find anywhere else. And I should stress, normally no lagging issues whatsoever. Tonight is one of those rare nights. I don't like that. We'll get that fixed ASAP for you guys. But yeah, patreon.com/RCWR show. Get exclusive access to great content won't be able to find anywhere else. And I love doing the Patreon stuff. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Use the keywords the RCWR show. Guna, didn't see all of it, but for what I did see, I'd say about a 4.5. Wow, so a 4.5 out of 10. That's woo daddy. That's all I gotta say. All right, so we got this in the books. I'm going to actually now go and enjoy some really cool stuff right now. I'm going to enjoy the All-Star game that I have on the DVR. Made sure I dodge all the spoilers, so I'm going to check that out. I got some True Detective on the DVR as well. I know that we've got the Mark Henry story on the WWE Network. I'm going to be watching that. Patreon members, I'll actually be reviewing that. That will be available in a handful of hours, sometime within the next 12 hours. And then everybody else will get it later on in the week as a free-for-all. All right. And at this point, your next edition of the RCWR show, it's going to come at you guys on Tuesday, the 19th. At 10 p.m. Eastern, as soon as SmackDown goes off there. Remember, if you're not part of our Discord family, as that's where we're doing a lot of the interactings now, do consider joining. It's free. The best part about being on Discord, it's a really cool, tight-knit family, circle of family. You get to be even more connected to me and pick my brain on some stuff if you want. And we're really doing a good job in slowly building up the community, especially if you've been a long time listener and all that, and you always mean to check out the show and interact and all that. Discord, it's free. You can access it on your desktop, your tablet device, or on your phone, and it's free. Only takes a couple of seconds to sign up, and then boom, you're set up. And, you know, once you get yourself set up, you can definitely get at me all throughout social media. Let me know, and I'll do my very best to send you an invite to the Discord server. All right. So shout out to everybody in Discord. Great kicking back, interacting with you all. And we will do this again for you guys very, very shortly. Until then, keep it rocking, keep it rolling. I'm wishing all of y'all to be safe and most importantly, be kind to one another. I will see you all next go round. Adios.